My name is Mario Lara. I am one of thousands of Belizeans living abroad. I reside in California, in the United States of America. I will not be able to participate in the upcoming national referendum on April 10th, 2019, because I am not able to meet the 2-month residency requirement in order to be able to register to vote. I consider those requirements to be a form of voter suppression because it creates an undue hardship and burden on a particular group of citizens, namely those of us who live abroad. We have a vested interest in the future of Belize, just like any other Belizean citizen. We have loved ones, we have property, we pay taxes. Unfortunately, there is not the political will to be able to facilitate those of us Belizeans living abroad to be able to participate in a national referendum. I consider this to be a travesty. I would hope that the government of Belize would do everything within its power in order to encourage all of its citizens to be able to participate in this national referendum.
How does it feel not to be able to vote for the referendum for the ICJ? Simple for me is that your vote is taken not in consideration and your citizenship is not taken in consideration. So, in other words, if you're a Belizean and you're not able to vote for the ICJ referendum because you live abroad, means that there's no value to your vote. But that's my opinion. But as a coming generations, for many Belizeans who were able not to live in Belize because they left at an early age, not because of their choice, but because of their parents migrating abroad, like in my case, let's see what their opinion is. For example, my son,
Hi. So, as noted earlier, the factor of your civil liberty not being taken into full consideration, not not due to the factor that you're not a son of the nation or a daughter of the nation, but because your civil liberty is not being fully held accountable for the act of democracy that all citizens of within a nation should be have the ability to vote for particular issues that are relevant to their cause. I feel in voting for the referendum to go towards the ICJ isn't valid, as one, the people aren't being trusted, two, democracy is being enacted in an unfair manner, and people aren't being listened to.
Greetings, Belizeans. I'm reaching out on a very serious matter of the diaspora voting and the fact that very many, like me, who have always only voted in Belize, hold no other citizenship but that as a Belizeans, but simply because we're working abroad at the time that the government is refreshing the voters list, will be disenfranchised in this upcoming process. Something is fundamentally wrong when a government is blindly focused solely on the ends without giving consideration to the means to that end, and the people, legitimate Belizeans all over this world, in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, who don't have the wherewithal, don't have the means to fly back home, be here for 2 months, to re-register, and then to fly back to a job, and then to have to return again to vote. No steps has been taken to facilitate voting from abroad in the referendum, I'm not speaking about general election. I'm talking about a referendum which we are seeking to put up for question any and all claims on the one place we call home. Something is wrong with that, fundamentally wrong with that.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by showing my proof of re-registration. I made every effort to re-register on time so that I would be able to vote in the referendum. However, I am not in the country at this moment, and I'm not expected to be back until after the referendum is passed. I believe that it's frustrating actually to know that there's nothing set in place, and because of poor planning on the government, I will not be able to participate in this referendum, simply because they have nothing in place to facilitate my voting. I believe there are many other Belizeans around the world who are probably faced with similar situation like mine, or a little different, but it doesn't give the government the right to exclude us from participating in such a critical decision when it comes to our country. I mean, everything boils down from here to trust. Do you trust your government? No. I believe that if ICJ was the only solution, then why did all the ministers before these, why haven't anybody come up front and say, well, why didn't we do this a long time ago? Why are they trying to shove it down our throats? It's unplanned. I believe that they should push it back or just disregard it. Guatemala is clearly a bully, and we're riding with their program. But the government of Belize doesn't see it this way. Not allowing Belizeans to vote is a no for me.
My name is Aria Lightfoot, and I am a disenfranchised Belizean. I cannot vote in the ICJ referendum. Even though I've been voting in Belize all my life, I've contributed all my life. I write a blog about issues facing Belize. I participate in my citizenship. That is part of my constitution that defines who a Belizean is, and my human rights that defines who a citizen is. Right now, we have people that cannot even get registered to vote because of different issues going on. We have people who are registered to vote that should not be on that voting list. The compromise was never taken to the House of Representatives. My dear Belizeans, if you please do not ignore this issue. Your voice is extremely important for the people like us who have been silenced by the inaction of the government. We have written the Prime Minister, we have the Honorable Karim who have sponsored a private bill, and we have gotten nowhere with that. Your rights is what define who you are. Your constitution defines who you are. Please, my Belizean people, take this issue very seriously. There's a lot of information out there, and I could tell you we are not ready. It's too much information for too short of a time. Hold our government accountable. Hold leaders accountable. Let them do the things the right way. Include everyone. And we will prosper as a nation but we will not prosper if we allow corruption and political expediency to continue.